swing a big old hard punch in and knock a man's back out if he connects. But if I'm daft enough to get hit off him and knocked out, then I don't deserve to be world heavyweight champion, Frank. I'm going back on a little bit where you said it's unfortunate for him. No, he's getting the biggest payday of his life. I'm not very good at maths, but how many 250 grands can we fit in 8 million? Can anyone tell me that?
32.
32 times his biggest payday. So, unfortunate that. 32 times his biggest payday. He should be here today kissing my feet and washing my feet. Because I'm giving him 32 times his biggest payday that he'll ever get in his life. His only payday that he'll ever get in his life. So, I don't know about unfortunate. He's very lucky that he's in my era. He's very lucky to be receiving this amount of money. The man's only thing he's ever won is a British title, Frank. Only thing. And he's been banging on how we're all scared of him. But I've given him a new name anyway. He's called... You ready for it? He's called Trillion White Knickers. Okay? It's not Dillian White. It's Trillion White Knickers. Because he's as soft as what it says in the title. You know, he has definitely shown the white flag today. All this social media stuff, I'm not promoting a fight, I'm not getting involved in mind games. You know, before I was like, you know what, when I say stuff about Dillian White, he always fires back and he gets upset and he causes a bit of a ruckus. Now it's like, say what you want about the guy, call him whatever you want, he's never even gonna, he's giving me that much more confidence. It's unbelievable. It's like, I call this guy pig to a bull's foot, he doesn't even reply. He's like, terrified. He goes on, he's definitely shown the white flag in my estimation of this fight. He's the way he's going on about it, I don't want to go face to face with Tyson. Of course he don't. Because you see that fire in my eyes and you think I'm getting killed. I'm getting smashed to bits. And that's what it is. It's fear, it's terror. It's all of the above. And I don't blame him for not being here today, Frank. Because if he was here, I'd have probably stretched him at the press conference. So it's a good job he's not here, because I'd be getting remanded in a London jail cell somewhere. But, yeah, the build-up of this fight, I think it'll be fantastic, because Tyson Fury versus his own shadow sells, for sure. And I will make sure that people are entertained. So if anyone wants to sing, dance off, come down here and we'll do it. There's the offer.
As you well know, as such a student of the game as your father is also, there's a very thin line between being confident, which you obviously have earned the right to be, between confidence and overconfidence. How are you going to guard against that, Tyson?
I'm very confident. Very, very, very overconfident. People say, oh, he's a down-to-earth fella. I'm not a down-to-earth fella. I'm on top of the world fella. You know, it's like all or nothing type of guy. If I'm training for a fight, then I believe I'm going to win it 1,000,000,000%. There's not even 1% doubt. So I'm not going to annihilate Dillian White, just like it wasn't with Deontay Wilder and everybody else I fought in my career. Even when I've been a heavy underdog, I've never had the doubt of losing. Even when I went to Germany all those years ago and beat Klitschko, I never had the doubt that I was going to lose the fight. And that's my biggest asset, confidence. So at the latter end of my career, long in the tooth as I am, at nearly 34 years old, I would never let that go away from me. I have to be supremely confident in my own ability, which I am. And I believe that I can beat Dillian White with one hand tied behind my back and 1 foot off the floor. That's how confident I am.
Are you viewing this as the start of the grandest period of your career? Because you have spoken at length about your desire and the destiny you feel to become recognised as one of the all-time greats, if not even, judged on the record perhaps, up the road, the best of all. So there's still a long way to go to that. Is this the start of the next stage now that you're back in the UK?
You know, for me, it's just another fight along the old milestone. I always said I was not interested in what people thought of me, how they rate me among the fighters of the past, whether they rate me at number 1 or number 201. It's really unimportant to me, because when I'm finished with boxing, it's done for me. I don't care what people say, because I've had my 5 minutes of fame in the sun. Probably, what's going for now, 7 years, Frank, innit? So it's been a long old journey in the sun. I've got a good old tan on me. But when I'm done, and I don't care about where people rate me or where they don't. Like I say, I'm 34 years old, and most of the greats were already finished at this age. So I don't have a long, luxurious career left in me. Or they've been beaten. I've come close a few times, but when I've had to deliver, I always have.
That's why the people have loved your performances.
Yeah, it's come a long way. It's come a long way. I started off as the brash, overconfident kid, the pretender, who nobody thought could do anything. I was a disaster waiting to happen. And then I've changed it all, and I've become world champion twice, and set records, set precedents, and overcame all the odds. So even though when they were stacked against me, I overcame a lot. And I think the latter end of my career has been so much more tasty than the first half of my career. I call it 2 careers I've had. The comeback has been so much more fulfilling for me because I had so much more to overcome, so much more of a bigger journey to climb and a bigger story to tell. And it's been a fantastic, luxurious, Grand Slam, Hollywood slam dunk of a career, of this second career. It's been amazing. And it's been an absolutely fantastic journey, and Frank Warren and Bob Arum and all the guys, all the team, and everybody who made it possible for me to be here today and in this position. So a big thank you to you guys. And I don't think Frank gets enough credit for the massive purse bid he did for this fight, BT Sport and ESPN and Bob Arum. Because like he said, it broke all records of this sport. It's been going a long time. And for me to be the record holder of the highest purse bid in the history of our sport, I think we deserve to give Frank Warren a clap. Go on, Frank.
That doesn't happen at every press conference, does it, Frank? You picked up the pieces, 4 or 5 years ago now. What are your thoughts about what Tyson has achieved to this point? And moreover, Frank, what are your ambitions for Tyson going forward from here?
You say picked up the pieces. I mean, he picked himself up. You know, he was. I mean, it's well documented. I think he was well and truly at the bottom of you could be. You know, he's in an abyss, and he got himself out of it. He knew that boxing. I felt he knew that boxing would be his saviour. He works hard. He had to lose a tremendous amount of weight. Was it 10, 11 stone, 140 pounds? Yeah, he had to lose that, and he did it. And you could see that for me there was a spark in his eye. I mean, I was involved. We did a few fights together earlier on. And I remember making a fight with him against Derek Chisora the first time. And Derek Chisora's come off some good wins. And I felt that Derek Chisora would beat him, but he destroyed him. I mean, absolutely destroyed him. Didn't know a second of a round. And I said to him after the fight, "You'll beat Klitschko." I really felt he would beat, which he did do. But coming back from where he came back from, forget about the boxing, really. That's a man to do that. You know, he's got family that supports him, a very good family. They're all around him, they're strong people. But you've got to be a strong person yourself to get through and do what he did. And I just think he's a phenomenal person. There was a few things in the past that obviously, again, have been documented. But look what he's done for the inspiration for mental health in this country and worldwide. I mean, we get letters in the office all the time to pass on to him, where he's been an inspiration to people, and it's marvellous. But he's I've been around now, God knows how long in boxing. It's a long, long time. But for me, he's without a doubt the best. And I know we've talked about Lennox Lewis and the guys, but I think he's the best heavyweight in my time, British heavyweight in my time. And he's certainly the best heavyweight of his generation, bar none. And he did what nobody else could do. He went to Germany and beat Klitschko, boxed his head off, absolutely boxed his head off. Went to the States, beat the hardest punching heavyweight statistically. Not once, 3 times. In 3 different fights. They were all different fights. He boxed him, he fought him, he went out and knocked him over. I mean, all different types of fights. And that's the versatility and the boxing brain that Tyson Fury's got. And for me, and I mean this with great respect, there's no miles on the clock. I mean, he had 1 fight in 2 years. That's all he's had. And you look at his record, the stop-start in his record. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's going to be somebody extra special to beat Tyson Fury. That is if there is somebody extra special to beat him. He's a phenomenal boxer, and he's a phenomenal person to do what he's done and come back from where he was.
Brad, this all looks straightforward in a sense to us because the British public we know, we sense it all the time, have bought so much into Tyson Fury for reasons in and out of the ring. But for yourself and Bob Arum and the American public, all we see is the week of the fight, those Wilder fight weeks. What has his impact been wider in America, and what does this fight do for the business of Tyson Fury globally?
Certainly, look, we're talking about, this is a Hollywood movie in action as we're speaking. You know, this is an amazing character, fighter, person. You know, I don't need to repeat everything Frank's already mentioned. The American public has taken to Tyson as the primary fighter in our country. They love him. His history, you can see it when they show up to events. You know, coming over back here, I think just adds to that history and tradition. He'll be back to the U.S. So it's just terrific from top to bottom, and we're thrilled to be part of it.
We're going to open it up to the floor in just a moment, but obviously, Tyson, I think it's appropriate that we give you an opportunity to tell everybody one more time, what are you looking to show us in this fight?
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Do I need to say any more? No, I'm looking to show the people and the boxing fraternity how good I really am. And what a better opponent to do it against than a man who's been calling for the fight for
5 years, probably.
352 years. He finally gets his shot on the biggest stage against the biggest champion on the biggest night. I will not fail. I'm just going to show you how great I really am. I beat men like him 7 days a week and 62 times on a Sunday. And I'm going to prove that to you come April 23rd.
All right, Tyson, thank you very much indeed. Frank and Brad, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, please just make yourselves known if you'd like to ask a question or two. And thank you, Ralph. Ralph will get the microphone to you. If I could just ask you, please, to identify yourself as you do that. You'll be next to the white jacket. Thank you.
Danny Flexen from Seconds Out. Tyson, I interviewed Sugar Hill a couple of weeks ago, and he said he felt that Dillian Whyte was quite similar to Derek Chisora. What do you think of the similarities and differences between those two?
I think they're both pretty similar, to be fair. They had 2 good fights together. It was nip and tuck in the first fight. I actually thought Derek nicked the fight by a few rounds. Second fight was going Derek's way as well. He obviously got chinned in about round 10 or 11. Very, very close competitive fights. So, yeah, I think they're very similar in stature and in weight and in style. And I've handled that style plenty before. And I hope you've got your interview camera ready, because I owe you one.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26.
Promise is a promise, Danny. Go back a long way.
Next one, thank you.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Mr. Fury, the whole world is going to watch this today. What's your message to Dillian Whyte, your personal message to him today?
My personal message to Dillian Whyte today is this. I will win this fight for England and for St. George on St. George's Day. There we go.
Tyson, this is Matt for Into Boxing. With everything you've achieved in the ring, will perhaps your biggest achievement be what you've done outside of the ring in terms of helping people with mental health and things like that? 'Cause I'm sure you get messages daily with people telling you that you've, saved a life or helped a friend. Will that mean more to you than titles in the ring?
100%. At the beginning of it all, when I was a young kid, the dream was to be world heavyweight champion, and I always thought that was my calling card. Until I was open with a mental health struggle and all that was well documented. To win a boxing match is a fantastic thing for an individual. And it's a fantastic sport and achievement. And it's good to be what you desire to be your whole life, but to save somebody's life from death, that's an even better feeling. Not many people can say, well, I saved that person's life, that person's life, that person's life. But like I say, I get a lot of mail, or I get a lot of messages from people who write out them, their brother, their cousin, their auntie, their mother, anybody. I think that's my biggest achievement in life, is saving people from death, because give them hope that there is help on the other side. Other than that, biggest achievement is wife and family, for sure. And my faith in God. Not forgetting that.
Rack Noble from Boxing UK. Tyson, where would you rank Dillian Whyte in the top competitors that you've fought over the years?
I fought some tasty competitors over the years, and actually I know Dylan White. We go back a long way. We go back to like 2012. So he's a tough guy. He's a good game fighter, and he'll come. He'll bring what he can, and he will try and chin me. That's the fact.
So not much time to speak.
He's definitely up there with like the top 10 fights stuff that I've had before. But it'll all find out on the night, won't it? I could say he could be number 2, number 22, but if he doesn't perform on the night, then he'll never get the credit for it. Or if I demolition him in one round, he'll never get any credit. But if it's a good fight, then he'll definitely get his credit for sure.
Question for Frank here. Frank, could you confirm what the price is for the pay-per-view for Fury White?
No, it'll be released soon. It'll be on BT box office and pay-per-view in the US, and obviously those numbers, the prices will be released fairly soon.
Tyson, Charlie Parsons, 5 Stars TV. Thank you for coming down to London. This will be your first time in 4 years in front of the UK fans. Just a message to them how important this is to you. Frank also in landing this fight. And I spoke to Sugar Hill in Vegas, and I speak to Christian Funn, a sparring partner of yours. He tells me you've got potential to go down as an all-time great. Having people around you say that sort of thing, obviously you believe in yourself, but, you know, from the best people around you, how important is that?
Very important. You know, for them to believe in me is great. Like I said to this fella before, all that's going down in history stuff for me is not what I'm about. I'm about being active and being what I am today. Sugar and the guy over there, sparring partner guy, good guys, you know. They obviously they see my talent in the gym. Sugar believes I can beat anybody. That's the belief that we have. We are a very good team. We're a team that believes that we can win at any single time. We don't believe that nobody can beat us. So to have somebody like that as my trainer is very good as well. Frank, do you want to answer that question?
Well, I think
it was your bit of it. What was Frank's bit?
Final play of the half, it's Wilson.
I'm delighted. This is where it should be. You know, Wembley, London, record purse bid, you know, the man, first time back in 4 years. This is what we all want. This is what British fans, everywhere I've been going, when's Tyson fighting back here? When's he fighting back here? Drive me crazy. That's one of the questions you get asked all the time. Well, he's back. 23rd April, St George's Day. Come and see the man. He's back in town.
One more up here, I think. Thank you.
Boxing King Media. Tyson, what kind of weight will you come in for this fight?
I'm going to try and come in at my heaviest weight of all time. For the biggest fight, in the biggest crowd, you're going to see the biggest Tyson Fury. I'm going to come in like a man mounted. What was my biggest weight? Can anyone tell me? I think it was like 19 stone 11, was it?
Yeah.
19 stone 10. I'm going to come in heavier than 19 stone 10. I'm going to be the heaviest world champion ever. Gareth, Russell Crowe.
Okay, Gareth.
Tyson, on a more serious note, obviously you talked about Vladimir Klitschko just now. Obviously you've beaten him in the past, but just wanted to get your view on the fact that Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko and your fellow heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk going back to their country to enlist and sign up and halt the invasion from Putin at the moment. I just wondered what your thoughts were for those guys that they want to protect their own country.
Fantastic, you know. I'll be the first one to join up if England get involved, or America. I'll be first in line for the job. My dad will as well, and all the boys. We'll all be signing up to defend. So that's what I got to say. I think if you're from that country living there, defend her. Love your woman and fight for your country. That's what I say.
Everybody should be absolutely pulling for the Ukraine. You know, standing up to the bully, standing up for democracy. That is what everybody should. And those four fighters, 2 ex-fighters, and everybody should be behind them. It's magnificent what they're doing.
Lomachenko also.
And finally, just to go back to Dillian White for a moment, could you ever imagine not turning up to go face to face with someone at a press conference to announce a fight of your own?
you know, on this big occasion, it's Dylan White's biggest chance to do his thing. He's been calling for a world title fight for I don't know how many years. He's been saying everyone's been avoiding him, running away, and all that sort of stuff. And I thought he would have came here to be part of big-time boxing. You know, he's never been involved in a fight of this magnitude ever, and never likely to be involved in a fight of this magnitude ever again. So I thought he would have come here, snapped up all the experience, and took it all in because it was his moment in the sun. But if he doesn't want to get involved in that, then that's his business. But I'm here to be a part of big-time boxing, and if Dylan White doesn't want to be a part of this big event, then that's his own problem. People don't remember who the promoter was. People don't remember who managed the fighters of the night. People remember the fight, if it was a good one, and where it was. If you look back at the likes of like Jack Dempsey and Gene Tunney 1, record crowd selling fights, who here remembers, apart from him, and him maybe, who promoted the fight, or who managed the guys? There we go. So, it's about, we still remember that fight all these years later because it was a good fight and it was a massive crowd, and for him not to be a part of it, I think it messes up his legacy a little bit as well, because in years to come, to say it is a really good fight, which I anticipate it will be, he didn't have any involvement in the build-up, the media, that sort of stuff. He'll be not in any photographs. There'll be no old magazines to look at, that sort of thing. I think it's a shame, not just for him, but for his kids and for his family to look back on in time as well. This is a promoter's argument. This is not the boxer's. This is his promoter telling him, don't get involved in any media, don't sell the fight, don't do anything, you can't make any more money. But surely at this level, it's about him as a fighter as well. It's not just about promoting an event, it's about being here, being active and being a part of this. Because at the end of the day, his face is up there, although he's tried to sue us for not putting it up there, he's still up there and he is a part of this fight, whether he wants to be or not. So he should be here promoting the fight. That's my opinion. I think it's tough luck for him and his family and his legacy going forward.
And he should be grateful to be involved in it. You know, the fact that we won the purse, because if his promoter had put in the highest purse bid, if we hadn't bid, he'd be getting $2 million less. And he's got an upside. He's got an upside of potentially getting an extra $4 million that's lodged with the WBC if he beats it. So why is he not here? He's getting $2 million more. I don't get it. I really don't get it on any level.
Stranger things have happened at sea, Frank.
They certainly have.
Okay. Is there one more? Just one more at the back, Ralph? You're going to have to do a bit of roadwork to get up there, unless you got it.
Just throw it.
It shows what I know. I thought it was Doc Carrington. Second down. Outscored again. Thank you, Ralph. This will be the last, folks. Thank you.
For Tyson and Frank as well. Just getting back to the battle for Ukraine, you guys can't go over there and fight like Klitschko's are, but would you back a similar move we're seeing in others from other sporting bodies where they're preventing Russian athletes and Russian teams from competing?
They've already done that.
They've done it. The WBC, the WBO, all the governing bodies have already come out and said that they won't allow any fights to go on in Russia. They've done that. They would have, in fact, I think they were one of the first sports to do that while FIFA were dragging their heels.
Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to wrap it up with one final comment from each of the guys on the podium here. Brad, to you.
Yeah, just looking forward to a historic night. It's, on behalf of Bob Arum and Todd DeBuff and everyone at Top Rank, we're just thrilled to be involved with Frank and Queensberry and, of course, the man of the hour, Tyson Fury.
Mr. Promoter.
Just be there. This is gonna be a great occasion. You know, the homecoming, seeing the man, the best heavyweight of his generation, seeing him in action. 4 years he's been away, and he's going to put on a show for everybody against an opponent who I know does come to fight. And once he gets in that ring, we know he's going to come to fight. But I just think that Tyson's the man, and just be there on the night and see the man.
Thank you, Frank. Once more, a shame that Dillian Whyte wasn't here, but you were very much worth. Thank you very much for your attendance. What is your last word?
For England and St. George!
Thank you, Tyson Fury. Thank you very much, everybody.
Carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? leverage, athleticism. They created some nice
Morning,
space for him.
everybody. It's DJ Envy and Lee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. If you just joined us, we're talking about an incident that happened in the New York City subway. A lady was on the subway.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
And smack.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
I remember one time when I was in like 5th grade.
Russell Wilson on target to DK Metcalf. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I was a child. It was disgusting.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
I would rather walk 100 blocks and get on that train. That's just me. That's personally, I don't like it. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. I've heard too many horror stories of people getting pushed and then they, hit that 3rd rail and they get electrocuted. I don't F with the train. That's just me. That's me personally. I'd rather get on the bus than
the Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Now a throw right side, take it in here to start this drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And I say, I look crazy on this
connection on that one, 32 yards.
That is going to be one of the reasons that I make
on
it.
First down is Brady.
I literally use
and this is caught by Evans.
To bust my ass.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
And that expense was a tackle.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
My mom works for New York City Transit Authority,
to throw,
so
it's
shout out to
Brady.
her, but I've been taking the train since I was a kid. I still take the train now. And sometimes it really is the fastest way to get to where you need to go.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
To Jersey back and forth, and all I used to think to myself, one day, I'm going to be able to afford
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Brady hinges it off to Jones. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Buccaneers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Anything can happen anywhere, but guess what? We all take precautions everywhere we go. And we take certain safety
so
measures
a big
everywhere
play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2.
In a certain place, I'm going to try to avoid that place. And that's what, public transportation has historically been for me. I done got bikes on
Brady's going to look to
throw.
What
I'm saying? Like, I don't.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time,
next terrorist attack would be on the
I just
train.
wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
Would have moved up from the 3 to the 2. You would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
California, we were in the bar system in downtown Oakland, and the guy started urinating on me.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock.
Let me ask you a question. After that, did it change your perception of public transportation? Did you say, you know what, I got to figure something else out?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit. You tell them, here's the situation. They got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying.
You never was like, let me get off this train. You just was like, well, that's what I love about New York.
The football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
He's a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. We see all kind of things happen. We just
and now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
You know what I mean? That's what a guy. What you mean the who?
They on the train. They were 16 years old.
911. There's a guy masturbating on the train. That's lewd in public. Lewd. What do you call it? Lewd behavior. Exposing yourself, and you're exposing yourself to minors.
Here's Wilson.
Get his ass locked up.
She was 16 and she's 40 now.
Like, think about that dude.
It looked like he got the feet down, didn't he? Yes, it's a catch.
You didn't call the police, but you tell her to call
the victory here for Seattle. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. But what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
Nah, what I was going to say is when you have that kind of money, like promoter money, to like, no, I'm going to build a new standard thing. And that quickly, you got to realize what it costs to like get all those materials, have the manpower, get a company to stop whatever they're doing to focus on something that large scale, because you can't put something up that quick if you don't have a bunch of people behind.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to EASports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
I'm sure they want to, but they're doing it for different reasons.
I don't know about that, Rich. They definitely have a billionaire that continues to inject cash infusions. He just put another $4.3 billion into the app to wipe out some debt. And they're saying some of that obviously was shifted into the boxing department, which landed the big fish in Canelo Alvarez.
But I'm saying Saudi Arabia pays a site fee, right?
Absolutely.
So my thing is, I'm talking about the Saudis themselves are willing to pay lots of money, and I don't know how they make all their money back, because it sounds like they're paying like big site fees to have people come over there. And I can see why that makes sense right now politically.
Well, the tourism. Think about it. It's the same.
But that's what I'm saying. It's an investment, right? They're investing in themselves by putting all that money out there.
Yeah, they want to be known as the new Vegas, is what they said. I think 2 years ago, right?
Look, and all those Middle Eastern cities, they're making a push for it, right? We see it with Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways, they overpaid for the World Cup. Qatar's hosting the World Cup this year. For the first time ever, they had to change it from the summer to November because of how hot it is in Qatar during the summer. Qatar Airways, they said their number one goal with their airline.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Bill Stadium in upstate New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings.
So all those Middle Eastern countries, their main goal is a tourism.
And we are underway in Buffalo.
Obviously, those cities went from desert 40 years ago to now.
Taken at the goal line.
Serious thing. Just want your thoughts on
that.
And
he returns this to the 22.
To me, it's the same thing in Vegas. It's like that these hotels are paying money because it's not as much the event as it is the people it's going to attract.
I'm with you on that, yeah. I mean, basically, if you want to call it, it's marketing. You're paying money to have events to market your country, your city. So I just see they're willing to spend these dollars because, I mean, what they're paying for a site fee is probably not what Vegas is going to pay. Vegas is going to pay good.
First down, they're going to throw with Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs.
People spending money.
5 yards on the game's first play.
I think it makes sense politically, too, because, I mean, let's be realistic. I don't think the Middle East
so as they move forward defensively,
is really invested
got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the second.
You know, I mean, to me, if you're America and you put that fight on, well, you know, that looks a certain way if a commission sanctions that. You know what I mean? Because
what about this though, Adrian? What about if we're America?
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Canelo's our Rocky. This is the bad Russian, the invader. We're gonna get him. Canelo's gonna get him. They're forcing Americans.
Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain there for the Bills.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that pregame defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
You have a Mexican fighting a Russian. It's not like a Ukrainian fighting a Russian.
That's what I'm saying.
In America.
But that's what I'm saying. For Bibble, that's going to be some sort of moral and political stance that he's got to take. My fellow Russians are going to war. Damn.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10.
And that's why I'm standing in
Look at this, a tight end carry. And nothing doing.
You know,
he's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
The men of Russia are
officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
If you start looking at real pictures and real video of what the fuck is really going on over there right now, you know, kids, civilians, people are dying. They're being bombed. They're being forced from their homes. It's not a good look to put on a Russian fighter right now in America.
To the air, Allen.
In a sense,
going deep for Diggs. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing is Allen on third.
In a sense, we can't.
He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Otherwise,
nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Dancing to his left, and he'll just get rid of it.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down in bounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen.
A lot of logistical shit that they look into. Right?
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted.
I heard
Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
So I think about shit like that. I know
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking on a logistical standpoint, okay, cool.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
To watch Canelo fight. You get what I'm saying? So they come to the U.S., they party it up in Vegas, they go to the clubs, they spend all this money. Well, it's the
ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, you've done the research, so I'm just asking the casual questions. But is there drinking?
Here's Cousins.
Yes, absolutely. There's drinking.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
But not like Vegas.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Here's the thing in Dubai, right? Dubai.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
Say a mosque.
And that is incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
There is certain things you have to be mindful of, but it's not, I thought it was like that. Like, women have to be covered up at all times.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
We have a 1-0 in New York. We have a 1-0 in Las Vegas. Guess what?
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw.
Dre's, which is one of the biggest clubs.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, down at the 31. From the gun, it's a give to Cook, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
My community members out there, the people that have been rocking out with us for a very, very, very long time.
We're scoreless after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Undefeated in Border Wars, 4-0. 42 years old, one of the oldest fighters, obviously, in Border Wars to have such a official record.
Handoff comes to Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Who just officially landed the
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
The big deal with, you know, a mutual friend of me, and then, you know, and this is what I say, man. I go back to my rant
from the gun. Here's Cousins.
a few months ago.
Escaping the pressure right.
You know, many people left, you know, unsubscribed.
That is caught. Westbrook's got it. And they will eventually get him down.
Didn't like the way that I handled my relationship with Alexander, a.k.a. Doomy. But this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I put people on. I don't try to stab people in the back. Jose just landed one of the biggest contracts of his life because I'm a dude that if I meet a millionaire, I'm trying to think, how could I introduce as many people to him as possible? Because what do millionaires want to do? Make more money. And what do broke people want to do? Make more money.